Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 21 of Enigmatica 2 Expert, where apparently my mob farm leaks shulkers, as evidenced by the fact that there are shulkers everywhere. Meh, I'll just kill them off and then turn it off. At this point we probably just have enough shulker shells that I don't need to run this shulker spawner anymore. And in fact, it's a perfect opportunity for us to retask. Are the ones inside not dying? It's the perfect opportunity for us to retask our shulker spawner to be a something else spawner, because we need to spawn some other mobs too. So anyways, give me a second to clean this up. Something is also wrong with our zombie thing here. There's like a whole bunch of zombies standing in line. I thought they'd be laggy, but no, we are not lagging yet. I mean, we are graphically lagging, but we have all our tick rate. What's the matter? Oh, there's a shulker blocking it. There they go. Goodbye. It was nice knowing you. Alright, well, let me clean this up and be back in a second. Here we go. We have 300 plus stacks of shulker shells. That's more than enough for the rest of the series, so we don't need to run this farm anymore. Good, because this farm is a little bit of a disaster, it seems. It breaks literally everything around it. I wonder at what point this thing broke. Do we have a stack or 2 stacks of Terra Steel. It broke after the electrodes broke, so it doesn't really, the fact that the mob farm was not producing additional armor didn't really negatively affect us. Alright, so put new electrodes in there, and we're back at things. So, where were we? I believe we were currently in the process of making this resident cell, right? So, this cell is made of things we can already do with the exception of mana dust. Right now, mana diamonds are a little bit expensive insofar as one mana pool only makes so many diamonds. Let's see exactly how many diamonds that is. I think it's like 12. So all 6 of my mana pools only make, a little bit over a stack of mana diamonds. Only 11 per pool. But, we don't need a tremendous number of mana diamonds. So I think I'm okay just crafting these by hand for now. Which means that creating resident cells here just needs these dusts. There's a couple ways to make these. The one I've been doing is a slightly cheeky way of sag-welling them with a grinding ball, so we get more than 5 powders, and then taking the powders and compacting 5 to 1 back into a rod, so that we can sag-mill again for more than 5. However, that does consume grinding balls, so why don't we just convert our this mob farm here into one that spawns at least one of the... That's not ethereal glass. I actually can't walk through that glass. We'll turn it into something that spawns the mob types we need. And what I'm thinking is I'll actually just put 3 mob spawners in there and let them share the mob spawn cap. It's okay if it's slightly less efficient. I decided to go with the Industrial Foregoing mob spawner because it just spawns mobs a lot faster. It's powered by that 900 plus levels of experience. In fact, can I walk in here? Are they going to shoot me? Yeah, they're powered by these 930 levels of experience. Yeah, they are going to shoot me. And then I can turn it off with the flip of a remote lever. So with this, we should be getting various mob drops in here. They are probably going into the trash can right now. Yeah, because I have it set up such that things that don't go into the drawer are going into the trash. So let's briefly turn this off so that I can put these items into the drawers. And then just like a couple minutes of running this farm will probably produce enough rods we need for the next couple days. While we're at it, we may as well top it up with more experience. So let's get our... Oh boy, that's a lot of experience. Our experience out of our electric furnaces. Another 752 levels of it, apparently. I've never considered this as a benefit of using electric furnaces, but apparently it's a lot of experience. How much is that in millibuckets? 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go from the right side. 420. So that's a billion? If this is a number that desperately needs commas. No, it's 123 million millibuckets. So that's like 1% of the experience thingy, of the experience obelisk. That thing holds a lot of experience. But anyways, there's a home for Infernium here, right? There's been a home for Infernium here. I just have to put the drawer upgrades into the new drawers I added, and this will be brand new home for our wonderful little friends. Almost forgot something very important too. The extraction speed upgrades in the mob crusher. Because items are building up on the ground because we can't take them out of the mob crusher fast enough. Oh, wait. Also turn it on. Shimmy, you. Hey, there we go. Apparently it cleans up after itself once you start taking items out of it. Alright, nothing to worry about though. We're not going to leave a mess on the ground. For finishing touches, I want to put fortune. Why am I only allowed to take the last one? I want to put a fortune upgrade on this. Not that thing. This thing. To make it kill mobs with fortune, so we just get more. I did also put a thing to convert the experience back into experience, like the essence back into experience and store it. I don't know why I'm not pumping it back into that obelisk. It looks less cluttered this way. Yeah. Cool. So now let's make our mana dust, and in fact, out of pure laziness, I'm gonna go ahead and just craft these dusts. I'm not even gonna run them through a sag mill or anything. Well, running them through a pulverizer is fast. I think pulverizers are faster than sag mills in this pack. Sure. Just kidding. A sag mill is way faster, at least when you give it a shaded capacitor. Yeah, that's an item a tick. In fact, it's so fast that the grinding ball doesn't actually do anything, does it? I just shut off our apiary here by making it require redstone because I got kind of sick of being stung by it while I was working here. I was setting up our thermionic fabricator to make the cell, so let's try it out now. We should have all the steps in the chain to make the filled resident cell. I don't see that here though. I may have just not put the recipe in. Alright, let's go for the empty resident cell first then. What's missing? Casing. Okay, I think that's just a recipe. But anyways, there's 6 stacks of propolis in here, which makes over a stack of resident cells. I'll probably turn it back on when I log off, if I don't forget. But that's likely enough, I expect. Let's try that again. This time, successfully. Good. Takes a lot of different resources, but just a little bit of a lot of different things, so have at it. Well, that does its thing. I'm actually going to make one tiny change here. I've been told that I need a little bit of this, whatever fluid it outputs, because it's used in one of the creatives. I think the fluid tank uses, is it this one? One of these. Here we go. 32 buckets of tree oil. So that's resin. I'm pretty sure resin gets turned into tree oil, right? So I'm going to not throw all of it out and store it in a tank instead. Now that we can make the empty cell frame, we can make both of the recipe packages. So we have 0 and index 1. I'm going to put in a recipe that says, part 0 plus part 1 makes the entire filled frame. Like this. So index 0, index 1 makes that. Take this pattern with us and head over to our combination crafter, I believe that's what it's called. Put it in the interface that faces the unpackager. Make sure the unpackager is on blocking mode, and then we add to the filters here as needed. Oh no, looks like I've already done that. Good job, Past Jimmy. And now we should see a recipe for the filled frame. It'll use the 2 packages that we have, dump everything into here, which gets cycled onto the various pedestals, and off it goes. Then it crafts 1 million RF a tick. And when it's done, that item should get inserted back into the interface to complete the craft. So there's one. Let's make a second one just so it can go through all the steps from the beginning and not just use the pattern, the packages I had already made. But it looks like it should be able to do so. In fact, let's just ask for like 20 then. In total, I estimate it'll take just short of a stack to complete the pack. See, this is why you ask for a lot. You figure out what you're missing. And here I am missing lumium, and I just need to print more steel casings. Alright, let's go do that real quick. Making lumium is normally not, a big deal or anything. However, I think this is the first time that I will, in a very long time anyways, that I made lumium on demand in an Ender alloy smelter. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to do this. Let's see here. 32,000 RF. And alloy smelters normally run at about 100 RF a tick. So doing it this way normally sets you up to wait the better part of forever to get your lumium. But right now, our hourly smelter runs at 25,000 RF a tick. So I'm willing to wait 2 ticks for 4 pieces of aluminum. That seems quite reasonable. So just to, let's put the recipe in. Just to test that out, give me 500 pieces. And, oh yeah, we're blazing away. Excellent. And this here should be enough steel casings for the foreseeable future, right? I hope. With that, we should be able to make, what are these things called? Frames, not casings. We should be able to make 20 of these frames just fine. Yeah, it's only 11,000 bytes, too. Alright, have at it. Do your thing, Applied Energistics. So what did I make those for in the first place? I don't actually remember anymore. Ah, right. It was the Draconic Evolution Fusion Core. So, I think the frame there is just about the last item in this list that we don't have. So, I'm going to add this recipe to our recipe encoder here. So, Fusion Crafting Core. U. And then this takes 3 packages. We only have to make 1 of these. So let me just take this package holder, put it there. And then I'm going to take this package holder, load it, overwrite this one, save it, whoopsies, save it, and take this package holder and directly put this one into the packager so I don't need to actually register the recipe. Because I only ever need to craft 1 fusion crafting core, right? So now this should show up and it'll tell me what recipes I'm missing. I figured I'd be missing at least a few. Okay, yeah, I'm just missing the item to block recipes. Mostly. Plus a couple others. The Atomic Reconstructor is one of those machines that, by and large, I found it's easier just to batch craft with than it is to fully automate. Why do you only craft like 3 stacks at a time? Keep zapping. You're not running out of energy. But yeah, it's easier to just like make a whole lot of this etheric quartz at a time and never have to worry about it again than it is to try to automate that thing. It's not like particularly difficult to automate, but it is quite a few steps. Or quite a few pieces. Moving pieces. I think this is the first time we're using some of that dragon's breath I collected when we killed the dragon. So good job, Past Jimmy. You did something right. Lots of steps, have at it. And then, oh, it's still crafting these. All right, well, you know what? We're going to cancel that task because that task is going to bottleneck our empower here. Actually, when this is done crafting, I'm going to take this recipe and take it off the empower and put it onto the unpackager, or not the unpackager, the whatchamacallit this thing, fusion crafter. Also, why are you not crafting? What is wrong? There's items here for something. Alright, let me figure out what I broke. My gut says these items don't exist. Based on the fact that I can't remove them. Like, I tried it out here, right? You just right-click with an empty hand to take the item off. I'm gonna try relogging. There we go. Relog seems to have fixed it just fine. And here we go. The Fusion Crafting Core is zapping away. And it's done. So because this is a one-time craft, I'm not going to bother adding it to any of the filters. And in fact, I'm going to take this package out so that we don't even have to see those recipes anymore. This step isn't strictly necessary, but I am going to scan and probably print a couple of them, just on the off chance that we need more than one somewhere down the line. While I'm at it, I'm also going to scan and print us a few dragon hearts. Yeah, make me a few. Thanks. Next up, we have the crafting injectors. So these are what hold the items that actually do the fusion crafting. These, as far as I can tell, look like the standard recipes, like the standard Draconic Evolution recipes. So we can get up to Wyvern Core right now, because the Draconic Core one, or Draconic Tier 1, requires Awakened Draconium, which I assume, yeah, is made in the Wyvern Tier 1. Alright, so let's get up to, well, let's start with basic. This one is trivially easy. You remember in like episode 5 when I traveled 1,000 blocks to find olive trees? There are olive trees within view distance of my base. I discovered now that I'm trying to get rid of the terrain near my base. Oh, upsies. This fusion crafting system requires you to power the injectors, not the core. That's different from this fusion crafting where you power the core. Also, you can set these injectors up to either be single active or multiple, like accept a whole stack. For automation, I prefer having it all on single. If you're just batch crafting, obviously having it on stack mode is easier. But I'm going to use flux points to insert energy into these crafting injectors because they can, at the higher tiers, each require a tremendous amount of energy. So we're going to just set each of these. I wish there was a copy paste tool for this, but as far as I know, there isn't. So give me a second to set all the networks. We want to make sure to also hit disable limit. The Fusion Crafting Core also has some interesting redstone behavior that makes it slightly easier to automate. First of all, it starts crafting when it receives a redstone signal, or if you click the start crafting button with a valid recipe. Obviously, we don't want to click the button, so we want to give it a redstone signal when it's when we want it to craft. Secondly, it emits a comparator signal proportional to how complete the crafting is. So a signal of 0, like it's doing right now, is no valid recipe. A signal strength of 1 indicates that there is a valid recipe, it is ready to start, but it hasn't started yet. And then the rest of the range, 2 through 15, is proportional to how done it is. So basically what we can just do is set you to blocking mode, so that, it only puts items into this chest if there are, or if, hello horse, if there's nothing in it. Then we set this to only extract when there is, let's say I want to extract on brown, not round robin, active without signal. So as soon as this thing emits a redstone signal of 1, meaning that there is a valid recipe, then it stops extracting new items. Unlike the crafting core here, you cannot continue to extract items, or you cannot continue to fill like the extra empty slots when there are when there's a valid craft. So like you can't put a superset of items in and expect the craft to work. All right. The other thing we want to do is take this redstone signal and loop it back onto the crafting core itself, because when it receives when it has a valid recipe map, we want it to start crafting. So all we have to do is set this to output. That's the U input. That just has to share a block space. And I believe that's all the redstone control we need for this. Now for the item conduits, I'm going to put a filter on the insert to the crafting core and put that as the highest priority thing. I took a quick look through the recipe map here, and I think I saw that there were no instances of items that can go both in the center and on the edges. That definitely simplifies our life a little bit. What that means is that any item that goes into the center, we can just whitelist it there, make it the highest priority, and then we don't have to do like a whitelist and a blacklist thing. Basically, we make this the highest priority, and we make everything else subsequently a lower priority. And that combined with blocking mode should ensure that the center item always ends up in the center, and the side items, well, never end up in the center. The last feature that the Fusion Crafter does for us to make automation easier is that it has discrete input and output slots. So like the input slot's non-extractable, the output slot is non-insertable. That way we don't have to worry about filtering like the final product out either. So what that means is that in order for us to add new recipes, all we have to do is set one filter, and that is the which items can go in the middle one. So for the Wyvern Fusion Core injector thingy, this Wyvern Fusion Crafting injector, the basic injector goes in the middle. So now we should be able to request these, have at it. Might take it a second before it does some of the... it shouldn't take it that long. Everything is silly fast. So pretty soon we should see items show up in this chest. Any second now. Come on, don't make me a liar. Right. What's it stuck on? Nothing in particular. Ah, the Empower. I see. The Empower is still a little bit slow. Maybe we can move the Empower. We can move all the Empower recipes over to this thing, and this thing is much faster than the Empower. So I'm going to wait for the Empower. Oh, wait, here it goes. We see the items go in, and as soon as there's a valid recipe map, the crafting starts, which causes further items to not be extracted. In this case, I guess further items are not extracted because further items are not yet ready to be extracted. But you see, there are now additional... Oh, hold on. I did it wrong. Further items were extracted. These two items should not have been. So what happened here? You are extract active without signal on red. And my redstone signal is on the red channel. Do I have to do this to make that work? Let's test. If I take this item out... Okay, I guess I misconfigured my conduit. Oh wait, no, items are extracting again. Why are you extracting items? You shouldn't be. Extract active without signal. Oh, right, because there's no valid recipe map anymore. Let me fix this real quick. If I withdraw these two items in quick enough succession, there we go. Now there is a valid recipe going, and now you should not take these items anymore. Perfect. I thought that if you set this, maybe this is based on a different version of Underout? I don't know. I thought if you set it to check a channel, you didn't actually need the redstone conduit to, like, connect. You just needed the redstone conduit to run through the block space. But I guess I was wrong. So, easy enough to fix. So we see it goes until the craft is done. Because the output item is in a different slot than the next input item, I don't have to worry about, you know, we don't have to instantly extract the output item. We can just extract it more or less at our leisure. And it moves on to the next craft. So, yeah, there we go. We have our fusion crafting core fully automated, and each new recipe just requires the addition of a single item to this item filter. Very convenient. So I'm going to let this make our 10 Wyvern tier crafting injectors, and then I'm just going to literally replace the basic ones with the Wyvern ones. While that crafts, I came and took a look here. We now have 2 stacks of Dragon Hearts. That's probably enough for the foreseeable future. Each one makes 4 stacks of Awakened Draconium, so that's 8 stacks of Awakened Draconium. I love that we can print those. Anyways, let's now put in the recipe for Awakened Draconium. So, there's one noticeable thing here that we can't make yet. I think we can make these, right? Yeah, we'll have to add a couple steps. We can basically make these. So I guess let's not put this recipe in yet because we can't make it yet. The next thing to do is to make Dragonstone. So unless there's some cheeky way to do it, we have to get to the point in Britannia where we can trade with the elves. And indeed, I see no cheekiness here. Okay, so let's try to work our way up to the Elven portal. Oh no. Okay, let's do Astral Sorcery. We have to get our Astral Sorcery altar at least to the Celestial altar tier. Hopefully there's no other traps in here. Don't think so. Before going too hard on Astral Sorcery, I want to make the Imperfect Ritual Stone from Blood Magic because this makes it easy to make at nighttime. I assume we can't make the Celestial Manipulator yet, can we? Just kidding. We're going to make the Celestial Manipulator because that involves a lot less steps than the Blood Altar. This takes it a bit longer to make at nighttime, and I do need another Dragon Egg. So let's go revive the dragon once, and then craft that. Because my other Dragon Egg is currently powering my Dragon Egg now. Return to me, Dragon. I need your eggs. Unfortunately, Dragon Eggs don't have a UU value as far as I know, whereas Dragon Hearts do. It does have a crafting recipe, but we also can't craft it yet because we don't have Dragonstone. Turns out flying and having a laser gun makes this fight quite easy. Would have thought, eh? Hey, where's my Dragon Heart? Apparently, he doesn't... he dropped the heart. He doesn't drop eggs. What? What happened? Do this respawn dragons not drop eggs? Is that true? Am I crazy? Where'd it go? Fine, dragon. We'll do it the blood magic way. The blood magic time manipulator, at least blood magic for making it nighttime, is significantly faster. So, yeah, we'll make do with that. Anyways, I need snares in that case, and it's a good thing we're coming up on nighttime. Oh boy. Okay, we have to do some arcane crafting, I think. So this is just... Anyways, we just have to do some crafting. 1 second. There's unfortunately no thaumic energistics in this pack, so that's going to make Thaumcraft a little bit annoying, but we'll make do. I make do, I probably mean that'll just cause us to minimize the amount that we have to use it. If there's ever another option, I will use the other option. So, there we go. Let's go with 16 of these. If you hit a mob with one of these snares, there's a chance that they... Oh look, we've unlocked blood magic. There's a chance that they gain white particles around them. They're pretty expensive, so I'm going to try to not miss. Come on, do the thing. There we go. And then if you kill them afterwards, they drop Demonic Will. So I'm going to use the ones I just picked. How did that miss? I'm going to farm up a little bit of Demonic Will here. And we'll use this for crafting later on. While it's nighttime, I'm also going to go ahead and craft this Phosic Resonator. This lets me find Astral Sorcery star fields, which will be useful to build it because they increase the amount of starlight that's available to us. So just hold this in our hand at night. I think offhand works in case you want to like put a weapon. That's not a weapon. A weapon in your main hand. And just fly around a little bit. You're looking for a blue cloud lingering near the ground. It lingers on the lowest Y level that can see the stars. So once you find one, it's painfully obvious. But let me find one around here. They are not terribly rare, so it shouldn't be that hard to find one. Here's a nice, large, and dense star field. This is exactly what we want. So we'll mark it. We can come back to it and build on it during the day. We're a little far. I'm kind of hoping we can find a closer one, but I think that one is the densest type of star field. You can kind of, if I can find another one for comparison's sake, we can take a look at them and see. It's pretty easy to tell the denser ones from the less dense ones. In the mid-game in Astral Sorcery, it's very helpful to build in a star field. Once you have like all the nice Astral Sorcery gadgets, that's less important, but it doesn't just happen to be one in my base, does there? That would be fortuitous, but does not appear to be the case. Nighttime's up, so we'll get back to Astral Sorcery later. For now, let's get back to making the Blood Altar so we can make it nighttime at will. For that, we need a little bit of brass, and brass is made in a crucible by throwing iron into instrumentium, and if I recall, this is tools that typically have this in large amount. I want to find a tool that is relatively pure in it. I think it's like hose is typically the one. I don't remember. Chisels? Nope, not chisels. It's like something that is 100% instrumentium, I think. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We can just clean up the leftovers with quartz slivers. I spent some time looking for pure sources, but all the pure sources seem to be disabled. At least all the ones I saw. There's a bunch of tools that are pure, like these ice and fire tools, but they're all disabled. So whatever. I'm just going to use bronze ingots, even though they're 2/3 not instrumentium, and then we'll just clean up the mess. Yeah, it's a mess. Don't worry about it. There's nothing living in there that we can't handle. Let's make some goggles revealing, just to see how much environmental damage we did. So, first take 2 of these. I think this can actually tell us. Oh look, there's actually not much not much flux in the chunk. If we look at the upper left corner, up here, that purple bar is telling us how much flux we've leaked. We've leaked remarkably little. That's a good thing. With brass now made, let's see if we can make our blood altar. Looks good. Do the thing. and I believe it was a mana diamond we dip into it to make our blood orb. Usually I set up my entire blood altar right at the get-go, but right now we only need the tier 1, so it really doesn't matter. So I need a mana diamond and a dagger of sacrifice. Yeah, we can make this. For now then, the altar can live right here. The perfectly serviceable tier 1 altar. Stand next to it, poke ourselves a whole bunch of times. I should probably set up some sort of regen, but again, for now, it's not necessary yet. Turns it into a blood orb, click the blood orb to bind it to ourselves, leave it in there for a little bit to build up a little bit of life essence, but now I just need a weak ritual stone, or no, imperfect ritual stone. And we need the orb to craft that. Get this, and then we can put the orb back. We also need some lapis. Well, we need a block of lapis. So if we put a block of lapis on top of an imperfect ritual stone and have a little bit of LP in our life network, this makes it nighttime. And then now we have more or less arbitrary control over night versus day. What I don't have control over is how much time we have left in the video. So let's wrap things up here for today. Next time we'll come back and continue our Astral Sorcerer journey with the ultimate goal of making the Britannia portal to get it deeper into Draconic Evolution. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.